Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Creators Outlet right here on the Outright Geekery Network. Our special guest tonight is Mac DeVill, creator of Mary Machine Gun. But first, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, SpinWiz Comics at spinwizcomics.com. It is a comic and webcomic discovery platform for comic readers hosting mainly independent comics. Currently, they have over 86 indie content creators with a library of over 400 titles and growing. Some of the notable publishers are Sauce Point Press, Tidal Wave, Marcosia, A Wave Blue World, and Arcana. Majority of the content is free to read. If you like it, you want to help support the creators, you can purchase a PDF, and 70% of all the profit goes right back to the creators. It is a free downloadable app on either iOS or Android. There is also a built-in loyalty program. Readers get one entry for every page of comics they read, as long as they're signed in. So every time you open up the app, make sure you're logged in. And they have giveaways for monthly, quarterly, and yearly giveaways. You don't need a subscription, but there is a subscription. It's currently heavily discounted. It's only $1 a month, which removes ads and gives you a bunch of bonuses. Soon they will also have a print-on-demand service. That's SpinWiz Comics at spinwizcomics.com. It's free. What more do I have to say? Go download the app, check it out for yourselves, rate the app, and pass it on to your friends. SpinWiz Comics. Thanks for sponsoring tonight's video. And now, on with the program.
I was just looking at it to get the app.
Go ahead, you can download it.
I was trying to get the app. That's awesome. I'll check that out for sure. Okay. Yep. Yeah. And while I'm doing this, I guess I can let everybody know, if we got some people in here or not, that tonight during this broadcast, if anyone backs the book and backs the book in a physical form, then they'll get all 4 covers. I'm going to choose one person out of all the people that back it during this broadcast, and they'll end up getting all 4 covers of my book.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. SpinWiz.
I already picked out a favorite cover.
Which one's yours? Everyone's got their own.
B.
Cover B with the vampire on it. Yeah, that's our homage to the old detective magazines with the females in peril and the bad guys looming over. So, all right, getting it. There we go. I got SpinWiz.
Or as I know it, Friday evening at the Gentleman's Club. So, first off, is this your first comic book that you created?
It's the first comic book that I've created that's actually being put out publicly. I've got a couple others that we wrote years ago, and we did a very, very, very small print run just for friends and family and stuff like that. They were not very good.
So we'll keep those in the closet.
Yeah, I will keep those all hidden away. But because usually I'm a writer, so my main avenues of approach is just prose writing, just standard chapter format novels, and I write movie scripts. So it was kind of an easy transition from writing scripts, from writing prose to movie scripts to comic scripts, because the comic script's not really the same thing at all. But now it's basically I don't have a budget. I can do whatever I want. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm a very visual person when it comes to storytelling, so I can lay out the panels and everything quite well because I did a lot of storyboarding. It's one of the things I used to do. many years ago was storyboarding, and so it kind of helps understand how to establish the thing. But our artist Fernando, fantastic. The guy's just a virtuoso. I mean, his colors, you've seen him. Those colors are just fantastic. His line art is great. Um, he makes very sexy women, and there's nothing I can't say that good about the guy. I mean, he's a kind person. He's always trying to help everybody out. He's got his own. He helps teach autistic children in
Oh,
Brazil.
that's very cool.
Teaches them with art therapy and stuff like that. So he does. He gives back to the community. He lives in Brazil, so it's not as advanced as I guess economically as the United States, but he tries to do everything he can to help everyone out that he can help. And I mean, he's just a wonderful person and a fantastic artist. I call him my virtuoso.
Well, I'm glad he lives there, because if not, it would be a hell of a commute to go back and forth every day,
Yeah, that would definitely be rough. We
especially with
actually,
states telling you can't drive through here today because we need to say some crap that's going to piss you off and make you lock yourself in your basement for another month.
yeah, that whole COVID-19 thing, everyone got locked down. It didn't change my life very much because I stay at home a lot, and as I said, I'm a writer, so I sit in a hole and I write.
Yeah, it was great for creatives because you know, oh dear, I can't go out now. I have to get work done.
Yep.
Okay.
No parties to do, but you know, everybody's kind of getting. I think everyone's just getting sick of it. I mean, around here at least, I notice a lot more people not really caring as much about wearing masks and things like that. They just kind of go about their day, and I think everyone's just kind of tired of it. But as
Yeah.
I said, I don't leave the house very much, so I don't get a very good barometer reading on society. I mean, I've even since this is the end of the whole thing and the crowdfunding has started. I mean, I'm on social media, but mostly it's promoting my book. I haven't had time to like read the news or figure out anything that's going on. I know there's some sort of more writing, I suppose, going on. I forgot
Of
something
course.
else. It seems like anything starts a riot these days, so I mean, it doesn't matter to me as long as it's not
Yeah.
in my backyard.
It wouldn't have mattered, how the grand jury went on that case. They were going to riot no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, because they're not going to get, they're never going to get what they want. I mean, you're never going to get everything you want, and even if you do get everything you say you want, you're going to want more and get mad about not getting something extra.
Yeah.
So I don't pay attention to them anymore. I learned to just kind of distance myself from it because it was making me pretty pissed off, to be honest with you. I was getting pretty upset about the whole entire thing, and then after a while, I just learned just let it go. Just don't focus on it. Just let them do their thing over there for a minute. You've got this crowdfunding you got going on. Just get through this, and then you can start paying attention again.
Yeah. Turn off the TV, shut off the news and just, read some comic books.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly everything that I've wanted. It gave me all this time to sit back and read all these things. Like I got the Conan omnibus, so I've been reading those for the last couple weeks. But some of it's research. I want to see how the combat and the panels were set up and everything because I'm in the middle of writing Mary Machine Gun's book 2, which is book 1. It's a setup book. There's still action. It's still got the 3 Bs. It's got the boobs. It's got the blood, and it's got the beasts. But it's also a setup the storybook, so there's a little bit of just getting everything laid out. But the second book is just so far it's just going to be balls to the wall action the entire time. So I'm real excited about writing it. You know, it's fun because usually as a writer, if you're writing stuff on movies, you'll be like, they sword fight, and you can put some important things in the sword fight that happen, but then the stunt coordinator or the fight choreographer comes in there and they set up the fight. Well, now I get to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not really limited by, things like gravity. And as I said before, budgets. I can make my characters do whatever I want them to do. And tell an awesome story while doing it. That's what it just seems that so many people have lost. I mean, not so many people, but like mainly like just coming out of the big two, they're all like chick tracks for social issues.
Oh yeah.
if you know who Jack Chick is, but there's just chick tracks for social issues, and I don't want to be preached to when I'm reading my comic books. I want to read a cool story, see some sexy women and some buff dudes terrorizing stuff and ripping stuff apart, blood and gore, and give me everything like that. Just let me turn my brain off for 15, 20 minutes and just enjoy something for a while.
Yeah, they used to, years and years and years ago, they used to tackle, like issues of the day, but they didn't get preachy about it.
Yeah, it was usually something like at the end, like they would tell you something, like the comic book would have something in it about racism, and then Captain America would come out at the end of the book, and they have like, a couple panels about how racism's bad and you shouldn't do these types of things. And that was always okay, but I mean, everything nowadays is just it's changed for the sake of being changed, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm all set with that crap.
And I've just I've stopped reading a lot of books that I used to read before just because it's gotten, I don't know, I guess they call it woke or whatever, but I don't subscribe to all the cultural things. I'm a very introverted person. So being, as writer, it's there's a lot of them that are outgoing and gregarious, but that is definitely not me. I'm more of a sit in the corner with my laptop and just write what I think and write what I feel and write what I think will be a great story. I mean, we got, see, Mary Machine Gun book one. Starts out and you get to learn a little bit about Mary. If you go to the Indiegogo page, we've actually got the first 7 minutes, or 7 minutes, excuse me, page a minute. We got the first 7 pages of the book up on the Indiegogo campaign page, so you can actually kind of.
Oh, you mean this?
Yeah, that's one right there. We're almost to $800. When we reach 1,000, we'll release another naughty image, which is kind of just like a nude image that. And on the naughty tiers, if anyone's got the naughty tier already, then they're automatically upgraded, and you get multiple prints. We're gonna be, so far, if we get to 1,000, it'll be 3 prints, and if we get to 1,500, you'll get 4 prints. If we get to 2,000, it'll be 5 prints.
Yeah, this reminded me a little cross between the original Antarctic Press Ariella Warrior Nun from the 90s.
Yep.
And a little bit of one of last year's Vampirella story arcs, because something that was going on in there actually had a squad of nuns like Mary.
Well, everyone, originally it was Sister Mary Machine Gun, and we were going to go straight with the nun theme because I like nuns. That's cool. I think having warrior nuns is really awesome. But then we kind of started to realize that kind of would restrict the stories that we could tell with the character. So we dropped the sister part. It's still part of the storyline. I mean, the Templar order that they work for is, they kind of use the Catholic Church to move their agents around. So, like, they pretend, like these agents, like Mary, she's an agent, and she's pretending to be a nun. So that way it doesn't look suspicious when they move these people around the world to do all these different covert monster killing missions.
Yeah, I never saw any nuns that looked like this in my school.
No, me neither. But you can always dream, and that's what comic books are. It's the fantastic.
Hmm. So yeah, we got like the first 7 pages,
Yep, it's
and
basically the pitch. If you would have back in the old days, if you would have sent like the pitch to Image or any of, I mean, I guess you still could today, but not many people do it.
not a lot of places are actually are accepting, pitches.
No, they're not. As a writer, it's just bad. I mean, everyone you go to any of these websites and they'll accept art stuff just to be submitted, which is great. But they're like, if you're a writer, we don't want to see your stuff at all.
Yeah, make something, you know, complete something, and then send it to us.
Pretty much, exactly. And then it's like, well, what do you do for me? It's like, well, we're not really going to do a whole lot for you. We'll get you in Diamond. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to try this on my own then.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this is the first page of a 2-page layout, which is going to mean when you see the other picture below, it's pretty cool. But this is where it explains basically what's going on. That Mary's a member of this Templar order, and it's not everything that you've heard. They left a lot of things out. She's not going to get into it now, but werewolves and vampires and warlocks and everything are running.
Oh,
And,
hello.
yes, see, and there is the one of the 3 Bs.
Hmm.
We had the beasts and the blood beforehand, and now we've got the breasts.
The boobs
There's
and the
actually
booty.
there's actually no full nudity in the book. It's just a lot of implied nudity. We use the smoke or the hands for very strategically placed. Let's put it that way.
Hmm. Like early Frank Frazetta
Yep,
Vampirella.
yep. Basically, the early Vampirella stuff. Um, I've got a number one Vampirella, like the original from Warren Books, over there on my counter, and I've been a fan of Vampirellas for probably 30 years now. Because I remember my dad had them in the bookshelf at home, and I sure wasn't supposed to read them, but I did anyways when I was about, I don't know, 8 or 9. I think it might have influenced my taste on women.
Just a little bit. So what are you doing? I'm still
That
looking
cover,
for I'm still looking for a girl that dresses like this.
that cover there is done by Maria Benez. That's Ed Benez's sister.
Oh, cool.
And we're working. We haven't got it all figured out yet, but we're working with Ed to try to get a cover out of him for book 2.
And here's the cover that I like.
Yep, this is by Jeff Batista. He's got his own studio called Jeff Batista Studio in Brazil, and he's a wonderful artist too. I mean, as you can tell, everything, the amount of detail is fantastic. Our colorist and artist Fernando, he colored this image, so more props go to him too because he did a fantastic job. This one's by Will Torres. It's a little different in style, but it is a homage to a Spawn cover. I don't have it where I can just pull it up, but there's on our Twitter when we announced it, we posted the Spawn picture right next to this one, and you can see the homage. You see the cape, how it's all billowed out and everything.
Hmm.
So that's by Will Torres. He's
I think she looks better than Spawn.
yeah, she definitely looks a little bit better than Spawn. I think I'd rather spend time with Mary than Spawn. This one is by a guy that goes by the name of Rarix. I believe he's from Spain. He did a fantastic job capturing the werewolf. I thought did a really good. It looks super vicious and has the the claws that are just his paws are just huge. And it's just very imposing behind Mary. I like it a lot, and of course Mary's looking good. there with the sword.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice her in there. Not.
And this is what we call cover X. We're actually only making 3 of them. We have to print 25 because that's just the way it goes.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video of me shredding 22 of them or whatever, because there's only going to be 3 of these that are in existence, and the only way to get one is to choose the perk, the Full Mary, which is everything that you could possibly get in this campaign, and it's $200. We've had no takers yet, but hopefully someone will walk away with that, because if not, I'll have to hold on to it. This is our first naughty image. Got to keep it censored, family friendly.
Nope.
Yep, nope. This one, I believe it was by a guy named Mateus Duarte. And this next one, they're obviously in the shower. We like shower scenes. If you can't tell, everything needs a shower scene. This one's by Mateus Duarte. Yep. The other one, I think his name's Thiago. I don't remember. I'm sorry. My brain's been mush lately trying to manage a crowdfund. I didn't understand. I never have done a crowdfund myself. I've backed a lot of things, but I've never actually ran one before. And I didn't realize exactly how much work it is. You're just constantly promoting, constantly getting new information from other people and posting it up. I should have probably been a little more prepared with some notes, but that's not how I roll. I like this image a lot. When you got the note bars removed, it is super cool.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
Some roast beef. And that's basically the crowdfund right there. I mean,
Okay, well, we're gonna go up and we're gonna go through the tiers because
okay. Yeah.
because I was a little taken back from so many boxes on what I was guessing was your first, possibly first crowdfunded book.
Yeah, it is our. I mean, that I have done personally. I've been involved with other people who have done crowdfunding, helping them, like doing fulfillment and just finding different manufacturers for different things. I don't know if you would call it as like a project manager type of thing.
Yeah.
But all the covers are $15. We don't have any most people will upgrade. If like you want a variant cover from 15, it'll make it $20 or $25. We keep them all the same. They're all $15. And of course the featured item is the cover A of the physical book itself. Just the item, the book.
Mm-hmm. Now, so $15, which is perk 1.
Yep. Well,
it would have been funny if you said select a perky.
They won't let you do it.
Just me. Now, does the $15 right here, does that include shipping?
No, there's a $7 shipping charge because we want to make sure that we send them out in Gemini mailers and everything like that. Make sure that it's completely safe in packaging them. We were toying with the idea of actually sending them in the top loaders, bagged and boarded inside of top loaders that are sealed shut, because I hate when it rains and my comic gets wet. There's nothing worse than that. I saw a meme today about the comic collector. He said, forget Thanos or Darkseid or Galacticus. And I had a picture of the mailman, and he's like, this is the comic book collector's real arch villain.
Yeah, I know. I posted it.
Oh, you did? That was yours. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, I stole it from somebody, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, you brought it to my attention, so that's all that matters.
So
but yeah, that's just cover. That's the featured one because it's just the book. That's what you're here for, right?
So cover A, physical book, $15.
Yep.
And everything's in US dollars.
Correct.
Estimated shipping January.
That's actually later than we think that it'll actually take to do. We just wanted to make sure that if in case something happened with printing and there was an error or we needed some time to get something repaired or fixed, we'd have time for it. But we're shooting for sending everything out to everyone for before Christmas. We really would like to get it to them for Christmas at least.
Yeah. So, and best case scenario, or worst case scenario, rather, it'll be January.
Exactly. Worst case scenario is January.
But you can once you get all your ducks in a row, you can update you can update that as well too.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. It'll if everything gets squared away, it'll change. And then that support the book. That's just $1. If you just think it's a cool idea, you don't really care. You give $1. Someone has, which is cool. It's nice of them.
Just the tip. Here you go.
Then the digital copy of the book, it's just $5.
$5. We got 9 of those gone.
Yeah, this crowdfunding thing actually has taught me that people will buy digital comics. I really didn't think people were that far into digital. I mean, I know you got the Spinwiz thing, and it looks pretty cool. I'm going to check it out myself. Maybe that'll convert me. But I don't know, just the feeling of the paper and the smell of the ink. You can never get rid of that to me. Mm-hmm. That's just...
Oh, most definitely. I think what a lot of it is in crowdfunding, you've got you don't know how much the books are actually going to cost you yet because
you don't know how many you have to print.
You don't know how many you have to print. So you have to learn and play with the numbers as you go. And the more of them you do, the better grasp at it you get. And then you have fulfillment. And like you said, you're going to get the Gemini mailers, bags and boards, and all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah, so shipping is the crowdfunding. It's the hidden killer when it comes to crowdfunding.
Yeah. Well, most people are used to go into a store. If it's like a standard, size comic book nowadays, people are used to paying, like $5 for a book.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
$4 or $5.
But when you're working like you are with print on demand, it costs more to get everything done. Plus, you gotta pay the artist, you gotta pay the printer, you gotta pay the letterer.
Yeah, we're definitely, even if we hit our 4,000 goal, we're still in the red on this book. But this is the start. I mean, we haven't, as a company, we're new. We've never done anything before. We've never released a product before. We want to show people that we can release a product that's superior, a fantastic product with a good story, with obviously fantastic art. And we really think the value's there, and hopefully we can get it to where we can print more, and then it won't cost $15. Maybe we can get the price down to $10. I mean, print media is print media nowadays. It's all still kind of expensive.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And then we go from the swag bag. The swag bag. Tell us about the swag bag.
The swag bag. It's just the stuff we got. We're gonna have 1.5 inch enamel pins of that guy. He's the Atrocity Press mascot. Get a Mary Machine Gun logo bumper sticker, and then we're gonna put 2 or 3 buttons, the inch size buttons, into the bag with it, and then there'll be one person that orders a swag bag. There's only one that's got it now, but if that more than one of those people get into it, then we're gonna choose something pretty special to send their way. So I'm not gonna release what it is yet, but it'll be pretty cool.
It's gonna be something swanky.
Just look behind me.
I have to switch screens to do that.
Oh, my bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I did a little research and looked down, and I was like, holy crap, he's got a lot of stuff here.
Yeah. But a lot of it is like, see, now this is just cover B of the physical book. I didn't know if you could do like different types when people bought it. I just created one perk for each thing. A couple people have done that one. That's cover C for the physical book, and then cover D for the physical book. And then there's the original cover A, I think. Oh, that's with the swag. That's
Cover
cover
A
A and the
with the
swag
swag.
bag. Yep.
Eight claimed. So
Yep.
we sold one solo swag bag, but 8 others. So we're up to 9. So
9. Yep. 9 seems to be the pretty magic number on most stuff. That one's only got one, the one you liked, but but it came with the swag bag, so that's 10.
with the swag bag, so we're up to 10 swag bags.
Yeah.
Oh, see what we're learning here tonight.
Nobody's grabbed the swag bag with that one yet, or I don't think that one either. Yeah.
Nope.
And then just the book and the T-shirt. It's usually I would be wearing it, but today I'm wearing my Monomarth shirt.
That's all good.
It's just the logo with the T-shirt. You'd think that you couldn't see it, but it's really kind of neat the way it's designed. Is like if they're farther away, they can only see the words, but if the closer they get, they can see all the background, like machine guns and rifles and RPGs and everything behind it. Now we get to the naughty tier. Yes, they're different covers with the naughty print. That's the first naughty print that we released.
Cover A and the naughty print, $40, and there's only going to be 50 of these, and somebody's already claimed one. They were like,
one. Yeah.
Naked girl. Ching.
That's the way we like it. Sex sells, right?
Yep, I know. I was a nightclub DJ at Gentleman Clubs for like 30 plus years. So nobody's
claimed those yet.
So we got,
but there are a lot of different perks. So someone got the cover D in the naughty print, though. Look at that.
Okay, so we have 2 naughty prints sold. So
yeah, so that's good. And those people will be getting 2 more, or at least 2 naughty prints. Okay, and then
a calendar.
This one's the calendar. We'll have the character that's sitting next to her is Charlotte. That is not Mary. That is Charlotte is our I don't know, how would you put it? It's our Darth Vader. They're both Templars, but Mary ends up getting in a little bit of trouble, and Charlotte is a member of the internal police of the Templar Order, and she'll be tracking Mary down while Mary's trying to deal with these werewolves. But the calendar itself is, it'll be a 2021 calendar. It'll go into 2022. We'll probably end up releasing it later than we want it to.
Is it going to be a flip page or a poster?
It'll be a flip page calendar, standard.
Oh, cool.
Standard with the hole in the top and the page and the dates on the bottom. So we wanted to go old school with it, just something you'd see in the garage back when you was growing up.
Hey, Lost Comics, welcome to the program.
Hey, all right. And then each one of those, has its own cover with the calendar, and then we have the cover calendar and the naughty print, I believe. So it's just like, yep.
Cover A, calendar, and naughty print for $70.
Yep, we've got one of those. So
Cover A, calendar, and T-shirt for $75.
Yeah.
And, one for each cover, of course.
Yes, you always got to do that. And then there's the cardboard stand-up. See, that was the original picture, but they had to trim it because of the size of the cardboard and keep it proportional. Blah 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 blah. It came out looking awesome though.
Yeah, that's pretty ballsy. We're gonna give you a life-size stand-up of Mary.
Exactly. You can take pictures next to her.
We
were talking about doing waifu pillows, but we decided not to.
And there's one of those for all the covers, of course. And then the full Mary, which
is based off the full Monty.
Yep, based off the full Monty, but the full Mary. I think I like the full Mary better than the full Monty. Let me tell you.
I'm pretty sure most people would. And that's got everything. That's everything in the. It's the swag bag, the calendar,
covers, all the perks,
all the covers, all the perks. It's everything.
Plus cover X, which there will only be 3 of.
Yep, as you can see, there's 0 of 3 claimed, but
so 3 people can go full Mary and have a 1 in 3 cover.
Exactly, and then if Mary does well, gets more popular, hey, you just probably got your investment money back.
Most definitely. So you talked about writing novels and screenplays and doing storyboards. I had a couple of storyboarders on. Actually, one this week and one last week. I had Rusty Gilligan on last week, and Frank Forte on the other night.
Yeah, from Heavy Metal.
Yep.
I was watching.
Yep. Oh, cool.
Yep, I watched that one. That was a pretty good one. He had dude had a lot of stuff. He just kept like, look at this, and then look at this, and then look at over here. I got this too, and I'm like, God, you got everything, man.
Yeah, but we had to cut a little short because he had a commercial project he had to finish up that night. But he took the break because we scheduled the show ahead of time, and I guess like that morning they dropped this project on his lap, and one to not throw away good money.
Yeah. That's usually the way it happens. It's like, hey, we need this yesterday. Can you get it done for us?
Yeah, pretty much. But he wants to come back and just talk geek stuff anytime. So I'm like, all right. I got his phone number now. He called me. He goes, "Hey, can I have your number to call you? I got a couple of quick questions." Okay.
You certainly can. Here's your number. Here's my number. I mean, Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal was one of the inspirations for Mary. When we first started doing the art for it, the design of Mary was completely different. We were going more for that. I don't want to say sloppy, but loose art style that Heavy Metal had in the 80s because they were just trying to crank them out as fast as they possibly could. We were going for that loose style and everything, and then we gave it another shot with the way it looks now, and we're going with almost a 90s Top Cow, type of chaosy type of thing. And it worked. I think it worked out. It turned out really well. Fernando, as I said, he's a fantastic artist, and he's working on some more and just different styles and everything like that, and he's zeroing in on the character. I mean, there's always going to be changes as someone draws a character more and more and more, and you end up doing it. Your 100th time is going to be completely different than your 1,000th time, and your 1,000th time is going to be completely different than your 10,000th time of drawing the characters.
Oh yeah, it's just natural progression.
Yeah, so he's doing quite well. I'm pretty excited about the crowdfund itself. Really, to be honest with you, just to get close to $800 out of something that nobody knew anything about, more than just a few weeks ago, because we kept it pretty quiet. I mean, we were posting about it on Facebook some this year. We got some likes and stuff and some followers off of that. And it's people have been really responsive to it. I mean, but how hard is it to love sexy women fighting monsters? I mean, that's about as commercial as it gets.
Exactly. So right now, you're at 35 backers and at 792 with a flexible goal of 4K.
Yeah.
Which isn't out of it's not out of the realm of possibility. So
I don't think we're gonna hit $4,000, but I'm not really that concerned about it. We've got everything. Even if we even if we made $0 on this crowdfund, I was going to just throw my own money at getting at least one cover printed. Now we can get all the covers printed because of the crowdfund, and we can get all of our calendars printed. I mean, we've got pretty much almost to the point where our printing costs are covered. So now it'll just come down to shipping. If we can get a few more $100, then we got everything covered. And then after that, anything else that we make is just it's just turning around and going right back into the next book. You know, it's not we're not here to make money off of it. We're here to prove that we can make a quality product and a solid product to start with. You know, we got to make that. We're coming into an industry that no one knows who we are, and we got to make a splash. You know, we got to make a quality book that looks good and it feels good too. We're working on with the thicker 100-pound covers and the coated pages on the inside. We want to make it's 34 pages, so it's not quite just a regular comic book, but it's not quite to the point where people start saying 48 pages is a trade paperback. I just see it as a long double issue. But
yeah, 48 pages is not a trade. You know why they think it's a trade paperback?
Because they can get them printed that way.
Kids nowadays think that a comic book is like only 20 pages long and it only takes you 3.5 minutes to read it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, a lot of the comics have gotten pretty short. I mean, I thought we were aiming for 36 pages, but we ended up with 34. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you got to tell the story as you tell the story. It's a 3-part story, so obviously there's, you know, the introduction with the inciting incident, and then you have each act, the first, second, and third act of the book or of the series, and then that covers the character arc. A lot of it's kind of based on Joseph Campbell's stuff, you know, the hero's journey. Make it as easily digestible as possible while still telling something really cool and having some beautiful art to look at.
Oh yeah, that, you know, you're right. He did a bang up job on the art. It's just, you know.
Yeah, it's full on super pro. He goes to school with the guy, what's his name? Alzir Alves. He teaches at the premier comic school in Brazil down there, and he's taking classes from him, and he keeps trying to push him into, he's like, do a test for DC, do a test for DC, do a test for DC. And he's like, why? He's like, I don't want to do a test for DC. I'm happy where I'm at.
I don't want to do a test for DC. I'll be canceled before I even do the first issue.
Exactly. Well, that's one of the things he said, is that, you know, he doesn't want to work in an authoritarian place to where they just basically say, here, this is what you need to do, make this happen. You know, with working with me, if he comes up with an idea, we talk about it together, and if it'll improve the book or make it better, improve the story, make it cooler, I'm all for it. You know, I'm a veteran. One of the main things we said in the Army was some of the best ideas come from E1 privates. You know, doesn't matter how low on the totem pole you are, a good idea is a good idea. I'm not saying that the artist is low on the totem pole. I was saying that the private was low on the totem pole. The artist is pretty much, that's what sells comic books. And the writing is what brings people back.
Yeah, it's a collaboration of both, really.
Yeah, and it is. And we're really good friends, me and Fernando. We've been friends for probably about a year, maybe 2 years now. But it's kind of weird that you can make such a close friend with someone that's halfway across the world and learn a whole bunch about them and basically know who they are without actually meeting them.
Well, thanks to the interwebs.
Yes, of course. But then again, you know, the internet does have things like social media, which, while good, is also not so good.
Yeah, there's good and bad and everything. So there isn't any. There's no chance of any conventions this year. But
yeah, completely shut down.
If they come around next year, Would you be looking to do something in your area, like even just like the smaller shows, or?
Well, if they come out back next year, we've got Cage Con we'll be at, which is like a comic book and gaming convention that they're going to have in Kansas City. It's put on by Play to Beat Brain Cancer. It's a charity, and that's what they do is they play games and people donate money to play games. Anything from Monopoly to Risk to Dungeons and Dragons, whatever you want to play at the convention. And it goes towards helping families with paying medical bills and paying just their rent, their utility bills while someone it was afflicted by brain, with some sort of tumor or something. So that's a really good one. Then of course we've got Planet Comic Con, which is a big one. That's actually pretty big, not for just Kansas City, but actually just nationwide. And then we would probably do C2E2 if it was up again next year. But I don't know. I don't know how long this Corona stuff's going to go on, or how they're going to I don't know what's really going to change next year than as we've already got now. I mean, the only thing that can really happen is it get worse. It all depends
who's in the big house.
See, that's what I think too. I think if Trump gets reelected, the coronavirus is still going to be a problem. If Biden gets reelected, then they're not going to talk about it as much as they are anymore. And it's going to slowly just kind of fade away and not be a problem. Just like the swine flu. Killed a whole bunch of people. Nobody cared about it.
Well, it won't completely go away because he wants to make a national mask mandate, so all the people on his side of the aisle can say, anytime we see you without one, we're going to fine you $1,000.
Yeah, put on your Star of David, Juden.
Mm-hmm.
It's
just I'll just paint my face like, blue or something from the nose of the bridge down. Like, what's that?
It's a special mask. It's a
mask.
They get it tattooed on your hand like they had that Joker thing, that really bad looking Joker thing. That was terrible.
I hate that Joker.
That was bad. I don't know what they were thinking.
They weren't.
Yeah, they were just thinking, hey, what's edgy? It's like, hey, let's go look at Hot Topic ads from the 90s.
So you have some prose novels that you've written?
Short novels, fantasy novel stuff. Yeah. I've been published in a few collections of fantasy stories. One is put out by Tor. It's it's been so long ago. It's about 20 years. It's fantasy stories. Just I don't remember the title of the book, to be honest with you. It's just a kind of like an anthology of movies. It's all, they're all put together by one object, which is this crown that has this special crystal in it that allows people to allows the wearer to read other people's minds. So all the stories had to have something to do with this crown, and so I think it's fantasy stories of the something crown. Fantasies of the something crown. Oh, I'll have to look it up now. It's what happens when you go to war and get brain damage. You go to war and get brain damage. I got TBI from being around too many explosions. Let me see if I can find it. Nope, not gonna happen. I don't want to hold your show up. Sorry. I'll look it up and I'll send you the link when I find it. I'm sure it's on Amazon.
Yeah, send us the link and I'll toss it into an update on the post.
And that was the one that I was published in. It's like did it right out of college, so I actually had a whole bunch of more writing. But film is what really grabbed a hold of me, other than prose. I mean, I've been a dungeon master, not like a BDSM dungeon master, which I could be, but a Dungeons and Dragons dungeon master for over 25 years. So it's easy to write stories. That's basically what I did. I wrote stories for Dungeons and Dragons games. So I figured, well, why not take some of these stories of these games? Because everyone always says, why don't I take the stories from some of these games and actually write it down as a novel? But the stories, it's only so long. But we had a game that lasted about 10 years. So I actually had a whole lot of
Oh well, that
material to pull from.
that's at least 6 issue miniseries right there.
Oh yeah, definitely could probably pull that off. I would,
Just a
I
little
would
bit of
say,
material.
yeah, but I've the comic thing. I want to get in. I want to do it. I like, I've worked with other people on the other side of comics. I just, as I said, like editor, going through editing people's writing. This is wrong. This doesn't. You're using the wrong tense here. Did you do that on purpose? That type of thing. Um, how can we fit this? Okay, well, now we got to get this translated from English to Portuguese. Who are we using for translations? Okay, now the translations has changed everything, so now we got to redo the lettering. That I've been on that side of everything. I've not been on the actual writing and creative side of it all. I've just been on the doing all the background work, which is great because it taught me a lot about the process, and that has made this process much smoother than it could be for a lot of other first time people.
Oh, most definitely. So this is going to be a 3 issue arc.
Yep, this is a 3 issue arc. Um, it'll be we'll have our goal is to basically put one out every quarter. I think if we can do that, it might have to be every other quarter. I don't know. It just depends. We could probably do every quarter. We have to get ourselves on a pretty tight schedule. Fernando is really good about keeping his deadlines and everything, but he has started school. As I said, he's doing that. He's going to school with Alzier, which is that guy's fantastic. He's a good artist. He's worked on a lot of fantastic books.
Yeah, don't rush it.
No, not at
You know,
all. It definitely can't.
life gets in the way, so make room for that.
That's one of the great things about crowdfunding is that if it takes us, if we were working with a publisher, they'd be like, "We want the book done by the end of next quarter," and now you've got a deadline, you've got to meet it, and if life happens and someone, I don't know, God forbid, catches COVID and they're down for 2 weeks, that's 2 weeks of nothing getting done, and if you're on a tight schedule like that, then you're just kind of hosed. But if you're crowdfunding, that 2 weeks, sure, maybe you start your crowdfund another, a month later than you originally planned, but at least you can start it whenever you want, so you don't have to worry about. Uh, sorry, I had a total brain fart there. Told you TBI.
You don't have to worry about
Deadlines.
a tight schedule.
Yeah, very tight schedule. You don't have to worry about it. You can actually take your time and put everything and make a good book out of it. Make sure everything is perfect before it's released, which is one of our main things that we want to do is just make sure that we put out a awesome product. I mean, that's one of the cool things that another cool thing that crowdfunding has done is, I mean, people are willing to pay $15 for a good story. I mean, and this book's actually pretty cheap compared to a lot of other crowdfunding campaigns that I've seen. I've seen some books are 20, 30, 20, 25, $30 just for the book itself, which,
Mm-hmm.
hey, if they can get 20, 25, $30 out of their book consistently, I say do it. I back some books that are $25. I think what Ethan's book was $25. That was one of the first things I ever backed ever because I always thought Kickstarter was for scamming, or Indiegogo, all those things. I always thought they were just for people to say, "Hey, look, I got this great idea. It's a water bottle that refills itself," and it's like that's a Peltier device. We've had those for decades.
I'm just finding out about it now. So,
But yeah, I'm
I
new
have,
to it. New to the whole crowdfunding thing. I've never done it besides just doing fulfillment, which was fun enough. Just bagging and boarding and putting Gemini mailers and having a good time. Everybody's drinking, having some fun, sitting around with about 6 people stuffing envelopes. I was like, I wonder if this is what they used to do. Remember back in the old days when you see the newspaper articles that say stuff envelopes from home and earn money. It's like, is this what they used to do?
yeah, they would fold, corrugate, and stuff envelopes and mail them out and never get paid.
Exactly. I remember those from back in the day. They could advertise anything to kids in the back of comic book though.
Mhm.
Yeah, that guy was right. X-ray vision, no. You know, the X-ray vision, and then fake vomit and all the magic tricks, and how to be successful with people and make friends and people like you.
Friends and influence people.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. I always loved reading all those. I never read the book, but the advertisements were great. Um, from being the Boy Scout and the Johnson Smith Company catalog. I don't know if you know what that was, but it was basically just a whole bunch of stuff that you would see in the back of a comic book, like the X-ray vision stuff. It was a whole company that just did nothing but sell these things, and a lot of the art for the women, where it was just very very curvy women and stuff like that. That's kind of where Mary was born. If you notice, she's got a pretty wide hip set, pretty good thin mid frame. But we did want to make sure that we gave her enough size to where you didn't have anyone saying, "Where are her organs?" Because that drives me so crazy.
Her organs are right next to the pianos.
Exactly. Doesn't matter. It's like Frazetta said, it's a comic book. It's supposed to be an idealized picture of something. You don't want to see normal stuff. If you could see normal stuff all day long, you don't pay money to see normal.
Oh, exactly. You know, Abby who? Abby Normal. I always got to throw some ridiculous movie quote into things.
Oh, you're good. So, how long have you been doing this? I just caught it the other day when you put out the thing on the group that you were doing it. So I was like, hey, I'll jump on. Doesn't matter to me how big or how small the show is. I just like to talk to people about my comic book.
Yeah, I've been doing before this. I was writing reviews and articles and various other things. I started out over at Punk House Press,
Mhm.
where I was, I'd interview, comic book artist once in a while or a writer. I'd review some indie books over there. Mostly reviewed, punk music albums and, because we used to get stuff sent over from, all kinds of bands and singers and everything. And they would just they would just keep, forwarding me stuff. And then I saw a thing for Outright Geekery, and the last piece that I had done was I interviewed artist out of Canada, Andy Belanger,
Yep.
who is the creator of Southern Cross from Image Comics.
Yep. So I was gonna say Southern Cross.
And at the time, he had gotten a gig for for a short arc on Vampirella before they did the relaunch for the 50th anniversary. And so I had interviewed him, and that was over at Punk House Press. And then the guys from OG sat down and read that, and they're like, "Yeah, you're all right. You want to come home?" I'm like, okay. And then
you did okay.
and then COVID hit, and I'm like, "Oh man, I'm in no mood to write stuff." Yeah. And then that stimuli check came in, and I bought me a microphone, a tripod, and a webcam, and I go, "Oh, this is much better. I don't have to type anything. I can just talk,
sit and chat. That's way better."
So as of right now, this is episode 42 of Creators Outlet.
Yeah,
and we got there quick because I was doing these 3 to 4 times a week.
As I say, Tuesday, was it Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays?
No, it was actually it's blah 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 blah.
How'd that go?
Blah blah blah. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, because I'm on another podcast. Believe it or not.
Here it comes. Nice segue.
Okay, Boomer.
Yeah, stuck the landing.
Where another one of the guys from OG and I do deep dives into old back issues, gold, silver, and Bronze Age comics. Last week we did X-Men 205 with Chris Claremont and Barry Windsor Smith.
Oh, cool. What did you think of it?
It was a 5 for me. I mean, it's X-Men, it's Chris Claremont and Barry Windsor Smith.
There you go.
That could have been the quickest show in history, but we go through the entire book.
Kind of like, do you just review the book as you go through it?
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. I mean, as I said, I haven't really had time to do a lot of things. The only things that I do, I listen to podcasts like this one where, I mean, sure, we showed some stuff, but I could get by that with, just listening to stuff while I'm working. I don't have time to sit and watch anything.
It's good background noise.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I use. It just background information, just something to listen to, because it's either that or if I'm writing certain type of scene, I'll listen to certain types of music to help, set the mood, that type of thing. If it's a fight scene, it'll be something upbeat and angry, little monomarth. More emotional or something, I might listen to Tori Amos. You never know.
God. Sorry, that just kicking off bad memories at the club for me.
Yeah.
The early days of the emo,
the emo crowd, yeah.
Yeah. Can you play some Tori Amos for me?
Can you play Cornflake Girl?
Oh, that's the one.
Can you play Cornflake Girl? Yeah, I was there.
We actually had to buy CDs. We couldn't just steal everything off the internet.
Yeah, I wasn't. See, I've never really been on the front lines. I've always been in the back. I wasn't a DJ myself, but I used to book all the goth shows in Kansas City from probably 95 until 2003 when I joined the Army. So I booked a lot of goth DJs. So that was when all the Tori Amos stuff was going on. It was either play Tori Amos or play V&V Nation.
Good Lord.
Which was a remix of a Suicide Commando song, and that was what everyone liked the remix better than they liked the actual version of the song. It was easier to dance to. I liked it better.
Oh yeah, it used to drive me nuts. I don't want to hear the live version or the remix. I want to hear the one I've listened to 90 million times on the radio because I know how it goes. And then like 3 days later, Why didn't you play me the remix?
Yeah, exactly. When it finally picks up, it's always everyone always complains. They always we want something new. We want something new. So you book something that no one's hasn't been booked in town before. It's kind of new. No one goes because I don't know that band.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, so you don't want something new. You just want to complain about wanting something new. I got you.
Well, like Homer Simpson says, can't win, don't try.
Yep, can't win, don't try. Oh,
So we've got the I keep saying Kickstarter, but it's actually
yeah, it's
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo. Yeah,
It's Indiegogo.
we will go to Kickstarter next time. We chose Indiegogo because that's basically we just kind of asked people around, which is the best place to go as a comic book creator, and everyone was saying Indiegogo is where it's at right now. So we chose it, but I think next time we're going to go with Kickstarter. I mean, the fees are a little bit more, but I think the customer base is a little bigger.
The customer base is a little bigger, but a lot of creators that I've talked to actually will actually run like dual campaigns.
See, I've been told not to do that. See, so I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I've never done it before, but because
they don't run them at the same time. They'll run one, and then they'll run like a short one on Indiegogo.
Okay, well maybe that would be something we could do. We could do a quick.
The only the best thing about Indiegogo is that more of the money gets into your hands, and the fact that once the campaign's over, your page can stay up there as a storefront for like 30 days.
Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, I knew that you could continue to keep going. But I didn't know that was basically just a storefront. That's awesome. That'll be.
Yeah, it's the campaign's over, but they can still purchase the book from that Indiegogo page from you. So you have like 30 days once your campaign's over to do that. As far as I know.
Maybe we'll do something with Kickstarter. I don't know. Another thing that kind of worried me about Kickstarter is, I mean, I guess there's a lot of people that said that they were kind of gatekeepy about what they allowed it on the platform, and I don't know if they would would appreciate what I'm bringing to the table. I mean, it's not an adult book by any means. It's just a very high teen rated book, but I don't know if they would like some of the things that we have going on inside of the book. It's very critical of religion.
And now, I mean, Hasbro's launching toys on Kickstarter.
Yeah, see, I did see that on Twitter. There was a lot of people that were saying, should people like these major companies, should they be able to crowdfund new products like Hasbro's doing things, and I guess
then you have huge pro names like Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo with their book, Keanu Reeves and Berserker, and the rest of that team are all comic book professionals and everything.
I mean, but so I don't. I mean, I'm conflicted. I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm conflicted as a creator or not, but it's like certain parts of me say, you've got the marketing money and you've got the people to make the decisions, and you guys got the money to put forward into this project. Leave crowdfunding for the people who don't. But then again, another part of me says, if they've got a product that people are willing to crowdfund, then why not? It's a free market.
Yeah, it's not. It's not set up as an indie comic book crowdfund. It's set up as plain old crowdfunding.
Yep.
You can crowdfund anything on there.
Yeah, you can crowdfund all sorts of stuff.
and
water bottles that fill themselves up.
Yeah, just like my bladder. But I noticed, a lot of people, getting mad. I'm like, why are you getting mad? Well, they're taking money out of our pockets. No.
They were going to buy that book anyways.
Yeah. I'm like, if they announced this and it was just in, previews or, their website or whatever, people were still going to buy this.
If anyone should have been mad, it should have been local comic shops, because that could have got more people into their store to buy that book.
Yeah, but they're doing this like they don't produce toys and put them into stores anymore. They produce toys on a pre-order basis
to ship out to people who already bought them.
So yeah, they're not like, stocking shelves or anything with these. They're like, oh no, they're all sold out. How are they all sold out? Goes, well, we don't make anything unless it's a pre-order. Then we make the exact amount of the pre-order.
Exactly. We knew we needed 4,212, so we made 4,212.
Yeah, and we don't need anything past that because we've already got their money.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of the risk out of it, which will allow for more things to be made, because if there's lower risk for the company to put out a line of toys, then if it doesn't hit crowdfunding, it doesn't hit crowdfunding. It's kind of it's almost like a way to test the market to see if they really want your product or not. But then again, I also see the other side of it's taking money out of other people's mouths, it's taking food out of their mouth.
The problem with it is they just keep raising the prices like every 3 months.
Yeah.
By leaps and bounds on toys. It's like, look, I know the value of the dollar went to rock bottom years and years ago, but I'm sorry, I'm an old boomer, and if I buy an action figure, I still want to pay the $2.98 I paid for an 8-inch action figure with clothes on it.
Yep.
From Mego or the old 60s G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
They're like $4.95, and I'm like,
for me, it was the 3.75, I guess, inch Star Wars men with the arms and legs that just moved up and down, and they were like $2.48 at Kmart.
Yep. By the time the third movie came out, they were like, up to $4.98.
Yeah.
And now it's like, $30 for one.
Yeah, just for one, guys, $24.99 for a Black Label Series 7 or whatever. I'm just like, okay,
well, look at the artwork on the box. I don't care. I'm going to rip it out of the box and play with it.
Exactly. I want to mess around with the thing. And I know, like, one of my buddies, he collects a lot of action figures and toys and stuff, and he'll buy two sets. That way he can open one to play with and keep one.
Yeah.
And he's been.
I said that once. You know what happens? You don't open. I used to be the. I'm going to buy two sets, one to keep and one to sell down the road. And my friend pimp slapped me in the back of the head, saying, "Quit lying. You're not opening any of these. You're not playing with any of these. You're not going to sell any of these. You're just going to have too many of them."
You have a whole bunch of stuff in tubs in your garage.
Yeah, and then I saw I'm a part of a bunch of the Mego groups, and I saw there's a guy that does a podcast, Migos and Coffee, where he'll review something, and he'll walk through what seems like a huge warehouse, but it's just his basement. But he'll have these big, metal shelves set up, and each figure goes 2 or 3 rows. So it'll be like Captain Kirk, Captain Kirk, Captain Kirk, and then there's a dozen behind each one. And I'm like, I go, this is why nobody can find the product, because
you got them all.
Orders bought them all. I can see, buying a couple, with certain lines nowadays, because you don't know, when they're going to sell out, or if they're going to be
Which
worth
one's going to take off?
Even if they don't go into big money, you can sell them to the custom figure guys, because they need the parts, they need the parts and stuff, but to just do that, I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, I quit with toys probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I just sold off almost everything. The only thing I kept is I have the Claiborne Moore Vampirellas, and they're all signed by Julie Strain and Claiborne, and I've got all of those.
Man. Mine aren't signed by Julie.
Yep, got it signed by Julie Strain.
Mine are all signed by Claiborne, though.
Oh, that's cool. And then I decided to go more into like the figurines, the more expensive figurines. That way, it doesn't take up as much room in my house. And I've only got a couple of those because I never have the money to spend on a $400 figurine.
Yeah, the price on those statues are ridiculous. And what's even worse now, they have the ones that they label as dioramas, because they'll put like a chunk of something at the bottom of the foot.
Yeah, you're just like, I don't want that.
Plastic PVCs. I'm like, 3 months ago they were selling. 3 months before they started doing these, they were selling like the vinyl banks. So they were like busts of the comic book characters.
Yep.
Or Thanos'
fist.
glove. Yeah.
His fist and glove.
Yeah. They were selling those for like, 15, 20 bucks. I'm like, well, I'd rather buy these. They're cheaper than the others. They display well, and I can store the money I don't have in them.
Exactly. You can put all those pennies that you brought
and
home.
Then they started doing these, things that they're calling dioramas, and they're charging like anywhere from $50 to $150 for them. I go,
I'm saying it's like double the price.
It's a piece of plastic. They are literally the old Marx figures. Remember the old Marx figures?
Yep.
They are literally just like those.
It's like when what was they had the Star Wars Ewok set, and then they released the Star Wars Ewok set again as the Robin Hood play set. Do you remember when they did that?
Oh yeah. They used to do that with Planet of the Apes stuff.
Recycle it all.
Yep, recycle it all. Just like in the late '60s, they would just slap like a Star Trek logo on anything.
Just whatever.
Remember the Spock helmet? It was a plastic helmet with like a police, like an old '60s police, like
siren
thing on it, and it had like a fake microphone that would come down the side, and it had a plastic visor that would come over your face. And I guess it used to be like a Buck Rogers thing.
They just put Star
Trek in the 50s, and they slapped the Star Trek logo on it and created like some really lame box art, and it's supposed to be Spock's helmet.
Probably sold better. He never wore one, but I mean it sold better because you got all these parents. You got parents who don't know, or people who your grandma don't know. She's just like, oh, Spock's helmet. I know Spock. I know that name.
And it's like, oh, what's worse? Grandma giving you a sweater or Spock's helmet?
Spock's helmet. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking I probably won't get beat up as much for a sweater. Even if it's an ugly Christmas sweater.
Hey, that's probably better than getting kicked in the head. Let me show you how the Spock's helmet works, kid. Bang. It doesn't work at all. Oh, okay. One more time, I'll say that anyone that backs the book, while on here, then I will do a random drawing, and there you will get all 4 covers of the book. So if you back it while I'm on this show, whoever does it, we're going to do a random number generator, and just bam, it'll probably end up being one of my D8s. And that's how we're going to choose who gets to get all 4 covers.
Very cool.
Very cool. Super cool. Oh, I was so excited.
I'm always excited. This is just my resting bitch face.
Yeah.
That's just what I look like.
That's what everyone's telling me. They're like, "Why don't you need to smile more when you're on camera? You need to smile more when you're on camera. You look like you're you don't want to be there." And I'm like, "Well, I want to be there. I guess I just got resting jackass face. I don't know."
You got resting private face.
Chaos stuff. You like the book? If you like any of the bad girl comic stuff, that's where we kind of based the whole
So just
idea.
about everything Dynamite is putting out right now.
Pretty much anything Dynamite's done. I guess that a lot of people said this could be a Dynamite book, and I was like, it could be, but it's not.
You know what'll be Dynamite if you buy the book.
Exactly.
It'll be Dynamite. It's going to be Dynamite for you to sit down and read this book.
You back the book and have a good time. It's 36 pages or 34 pages long. You can take it into the toilet with you instead of your phone one day and have a good time.
And hope your legs don't fall asleep while you're on the can.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm having a good time. This is fun.
Yeah, see? Talk about a bunch of nerdy, geeky stuff. Go off topic a little bit and go right back to the book.
Yep. You gotta go off topic. If you don't go off topic, then it's just a sales pitch and it's no fun. You gotta have a conversation.
Well, here's one for you. Comic book wise, if you could work with anybody, who would you want to work with and why?
Like right now, or from ever?
Ever.
Like, if ever, I think I would love to write something that Frank Frazetta would have put together. He would have did the art for, just because I love his paintings are just. He's just spot on. He's good at what he does. He knows how to draw the eye. He knows how to use color properly. He knows how to, or he knew. I mean, I suppose, how to do all these things. And he was just a wonderful, wonderful artist. Other than that, maybe something really, really creepy with. Oh man, I'm blanking on his name right now. Geiger, H.R. Geiger.
Oh,
yeah. You know, because his was a bunch of penises. That's all his art for that, and other lady parts. But he did design the alien, and I think that would be pretty cool to work with someone that just had that very, very surreal biomechanical type of artwork. Something that you could tell a story that was just completely whacked out. You know, just something that's almost, as I said, like something like heavy metal, where it's just like you're dropped into this story. Here's the story. I'm not going to explain anything to you. Here's this craziness for about 12 pages, and then we're done.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the type of things that I really like to do. I like just being dropped right into something. Nothing's really explained, and you just kind of go on this wild ride for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then by the time you're done, you're just like, wow, that was completely whacked out of its gourd, but it was awesome. Kind of like the Max or the Eon Flux back in the day with the old Beavis and Butthead stuff when they were doing all that. It was a Liquid Television, I believe it was called. And that was always a good time because you never really, it was the first Adult Swim. It's like you really didn't know what was going to come on half the time, and it was always really weird, but always really good. Like I remember this one. It's just this animation of this guy, and he's standing there with a baseball bat, and you just see him, and you hear this deep voice is like, bash it, bash it. And he's all like, oh, but I don't want to bash it. Bash it. He just starts bashing his head with this baseball bat until his whole head just comes apart in chunks. And they put it on TV. It
Yeah,
was
they'll put almost
fantastic.
anything on TV nowadays.
Yeah, well, this was back in the late '80s, early '90s, so it was a little more shocking, I guess. Stuff was still closing around 9 o'clock at night, which they do. That's another thing that the coronavirus, this COVID thing, is kind of like taking everything back to the late '80s, where everything closes at 9 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
It's all closed on Sunday, and everything's closed at 9.
Mm-hmm. I actually have family in KC, and
Really?
One of my cousins is actually a busker. Just hangs out downtown.
In Westport?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's where the most of them hang out, is in Westport. I used to do street magic down there, magician stuff. I've been a magician for 20 years. I mostly do escapes now, like mostly I just base my show off of Houdini's type of stuff. I don't do the underwater crap because it'll kill me quicker than it kill him, because I can't breathe like that. I smoke way too much. but like the the mailbag escape, I'll do that one. I'll do the milk can escape, and then of course the straitjacket escape. I can do all three of those, and that's you can build a whole show over just three effects like that. That's all you need.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But I haven't done that in probably 2 or 3 years. The last time I did that, I was opening for the guitarist for Anthrax. He has a band. I can't remember the side band's name, but we were opening for him, and I got to do it. Got to do the straitjacket escape for that, and that was pretty fun. I really enjoyed that.
Little bit of Alice Cooper before the band came on.
Pretty much, yeah. And I remember Alice, the guy that actually I was doing the show with. He's an artist named Patrick Hart, and he does a lot of horror art. A lot of mixed media stuff where he'll have like a canvas and then he'll have a 3D head of like Jason or Freddy or stuff like that. And then he's started doing all these basically death masks of all these celebrities, like ones that are actually dead, like Hitchcock and different people like that. But then there's people that are still living that he's done, like Kane Hodder and some other people that they let him do the face masks, or they let him do the pull off of his face, off of their face and everything, and then he makes the thing and paints it all up. Fantastic artist. Dude's all over. If you go to a horror convention, you will see the Studio Patrick there, because that guy, that's what he does, is he rocks horror convention circuits. So this COVID-19 stuff is killing him, because that's how he makes his money, is he just drives around the country going to different conventions all year. That's what he does.
Yeah.
There's no conventions.
I talked to an illustrator a few months ago on the show that he's just a freelance illustrator, and his whole life is going from convention to convention to convention.
Now you can't.
So he's just, he's slowed down. He's taking, commissions online, and he actually was at a free comic book day event the week before, on the 12th, at my LCS with a few other artists.
Nice.
And he goes, oh, it's the first time I got out of the house in like 6 months.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty bad that Emerald City canceled, and as soon as Emerald City canceled, I was like, okay, everybody's going to cancel. And then everybody canceled, and then I'm hoping that I got tickets for it, so I'm hoping Brian Polito's thing still happens in February, but we'll see. This Sworn Fest he's doing out there in Mesa. I've got tickets for it. I want to go out there and hang out with those guys, spend some time talking to them. I haven't seen them in a long time. So hopefully it still goes on. I mean, it's months away.
Some drinking involved.
Oh yeah, there'll definitely be drinking involved. It'll probably be the same color as what you're drinking, but it'll be highly alcoholic.
Yes.
I'm not saying that what you're drinking isn't highly alcoholic.
It's just water in an old orange juice bottle. I recycle. I just
Could
keep.
have been.
I've got the refillable water bottles.
There you go. The ones that you just buy from the store. That works good.
$39.95.
Just to be good. That stuff drives me crazy that people buy that stuff. I mean, $29.95 to buy a bottle. It's like you know you got a bottle. Every time you bought your orange juice or whatever, you could just wash it out, fill it back up.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, I can't drink tap water.
Oh yeah, it's got all these chemicals that control my brain. Like I don't think you have to worry about chemicals controlling your brain. Turn off the TV.
Yeah. I only drink Avion water. I go, yeah, you know what that is? Naive spelled backwards.
Exactly. I was like naive backwards.
Quite literally. But I want to thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you for having me. It was a good time.
More importantly, thank you for your service.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that once again.
And I urge everybody to head over to Indiegogo and check out the campaign for this book, Mary Machine Gun. I was going to call it
Machine Gun Mary. Yep, a lot of people say that. Is that where it came from? Does it have anything to do with it? And I'm like, no. It was just going to be Sister Mary to start with, and then I was like, I like Mary Machine Gun. I like the wordplay there. It works out well.
Yeah, so Mary Machine Gun issue 1 is available in many forms over on the Indiegogo page. Go check it out for yourself. If you have any questions, reach out to Max on social media. Where can people find you on social media?
If they go to Facebook and just search Mary Machine Gun, they'll definitely get the Mary Machine Gun page. It'll be the first thing to come up. And you can send a message through there, or you can send to our www.atrocitypress.com, like war is an atrocity. Press.com, and you can send me an email directly through there. Contact email, or if you're an artist and you want to do some artistic submissions, or a writer that wants to do submissions. If you're a writer that wants to do submissions, you have to fill out a release form first, because I don't want someone to say I had a fight in the street in my book and you stole that from me. Can't do that. But artists that want to do any submissions, then send to submissions@atrocitypress.com.
Very good.
Yes, excellent. Good. All right. Well, it was nice being here. I do actually. It's a good time that we're wrapping it up, because I actually do have to go put my kid to bed.
That's good timing.
It is good timing. It's getting to that point, so. It was super fun to be on. I had a good time. I mean, hopefully people will check out the book and take a read. Once we get it put on digital, I will make sure to send you a copy if you're Mr. Reviewer. That way you can take a look. And
either myself or one of the other reviewers will get on it. We are big over there for indie stuff, obviously. Like last week I had 5 episodes, and it was 4 episodes rather, and it was all all pros.
Yeah. Have you talked to Mike Barron yet? The guy who's doing Florida Man?
Yes. He's one of the pros.
Okay, yeah, that guy. He is just all over it. I love it. I mean, as soon as the first little panel thing I was on, he was on it, and I was like, oh, I remember Florida Man. I was going to back that, and I totally forgot, and I just jumped on. Backed it right when we were on the show, before we started the show, because I was like, oh, it just sounds too good. It just sounds too good. I got to get it.
He's got Florida Man going on. He's got another book going. He's got like 2 crowdfunders going at the same time.
Oh, that's got to be stressful. One's enough.
Different people, and he's always writing. I mean, I'm an old school Nexus and Badger fan of his, and he goes, well, I have all these Nexus novels on my wife's dining room table. She would really like the table back. So,
Nice.
Anybody that would like one of these, just contact me, and I will be happy to send you one out. Pops from the Madness got his last week, and he is going to be finishing up and releasing a Badger novel
Nice.
next year. And he's got, I think, like between 20 and 30 prose novels available on Amazon right now.
That dude, he's a writer. I'll give it to him.
He's nonstop. He is a machine.
Dude is a straight machine. He'll write circles around me. I can't do it. I have to be in the right frame of mindset to do it and everything. I can't just sit down and write because it'll come out angry and wrong.
Like my first marriage.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so thanks once again for coming on.
Well, thanks for having me.
We had a great time talking about the project and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, it's always a good time to just have a chat about just things in general, especially when it's nothing too heavy.
Yeah. The only thing heavy I have is me. So
that's the way I work.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me on. It was a good time. And hopefully we'll be back on again when Mary Machine Gun issue 2 comes out.
Sure enough, just hit me up. We'll get you right back on the show.
Sweet. Fantastic. Hey, and don't forget, get your SpinWiz Comics app.
Yeah, download that SpinWiz Comics app and read some free comics.
I got mine. That's what I'm going to be doing tonight.
There you go.
Before I go to bed.
There's great stuff on there. I've got like 3 different books I'm reading on there right now. So
maybe after a while we can end up getting some of our stuff put on there, because we've got some short stuff that we haven't released. This is not Mary related. It's a different world. It's more of a cyberpunk type of thing. But maybe we could get some of those on there. That might be something we could talk to. I'll have to get the contact information for the SpinWiz guys from you after the show.
Yeah. Actually, it's right in the chat above your Indiegogo. SpinWizComics.com will bring you right to their main website.
Oh, sweet. That'll work. Let me check this out here. SpinWiz Comics. All right, cool. And they got the contact information on how to get your stuff on there?
Yeah, you just find the contact button on the website.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
You'll be able to shoot them an email.
Oh, yep, there we go. All right, cool. That'll work. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Max. Have a great night.
You too. Have a good evening.